Breaking news, the Sussexes plan to escape from America. Their beautiful life is about to end. There is no place left to live. Alright, so amid a high-profile lawsuit investigating Harry's drug abuse brought by the Heritage Foundation in Washington, D.C., reportedly Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are now planning their escape route back to Britain. The fact is, Meghan is not a big fan of Donald Trump, to say the least, and that feeling is certainly mutual. On the other hand, Trump enjoyed suggesting that they won't have such an easy ride if he wins the presidency. And yeah, I should say that Harry should be worried right now. I think that he's feeling all nervous because either he lied in his stupid book or on his visa application, and he knows that his credibility is shot either way. Now, if he followed proper procedure and if he was honest on the application, then he wouldn't need to feel like a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. And if he just relied on his title and connections to give him some special treatment, that could be an entirely different story, especially considering it's an election year in the US. So why does he need to escape if he was honest? I mean, does that mean he lied? Really, Harry? Reportedly, Meghan Markle is still trying to be successful in Hollywood, so I don't see how it's going to work that she's going to now run away back to the UK. I mean, she's been on record already claiming that she will never set foot in the UK again. So maybe she doesn't feel safe there. Maybe she's worried about how the public will react. Again, she should be. But anyway, if Harry runs away, where is Meghan going to end up? And as far as what Brits want, well, they want anything but Harry and Meghan back in the UK. I don't think Harry's ever going to be in with the royal family again after everything that has happened over the last few years, and Meghan doesn't want to come back either. She's got her brand new business, right? And she's got her new podcast series, among other opportunities. And I'm sure she won't want to leave that $14 million McMansion. It's not like you can just put it on the market and expect to sell it the very next day. It is funny, though, isn't it, to think about the fact that Catherine and Sophie simply joined the royal family and just observed for a long time. They figured out their place within the royal household, and they stayed in the background. They didn't need all this attention for themselves. And then gradually, they went up the ranks. They served their apprenticeship, I guess we could say. But Meghan, no, she wanted to run things from the very beginning. She expected herself to be at the very highest level within the monarchy, and she didn't know anything about the protocol involved in being a member of the royal family. So if Meghan Markle returns to the UK, I can predict already nothing is going to have changed. And I thought Meghan Markle had some type of family connections in Nigeria or Kenya or something? So maybe they could run away there for sanctuary. Meghan also didn't want to learn anything about the royal protocol. She thought that she knew it all already. So the best thing for them is to not come back to the UK. They're not welcome there. Meghan and Harry also can't get along with life there. They've also proven that they're dangerous to the country. I mean, if they come back, they're going to reveal all kinds of national secrets if they have access to them. And I'm afraid that the royal family is going to fall into chaos once again. So they need to stay as far away as possible. And honestly, folks, they took such a long time to deliver the papers to the judge. Perhaps they were trying to do some little editing to remove any references to drug use. But I really believe the truth is always going to come out, and I think that Harry's going to be kicked out of the country. And I don't think any Brits are going to be accepting Harry and his family back. He's going to have to find somewhere else and start a new life. And maybe Harry needs a tough lesson. Maybe he'll learn something. Maybe he'll stop it with the scams. He'll quit smoking so much marijuana. Maybe he can learn to live a quiet, peaceful life. And I'm sure divorce is going to happen. I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Meghan is not going to give that up in favor of returning to a country that she claims she dislikes. What in the world would she even do in the UK? There's no way she could ever be accepted back by the public as a working royal. And obviously, she sees that job as beneath her anyway. Meghan Markle would face way too much resentment. She would be booed wherever she went. She and Harry would also have their access to the royal family limited because obviously they can't be trusted. So I would also love to know, what could Harry do there? He's no longer welcome, he's not trusted enough to resume any kind of duties for the crown, and I don't think they would ever allow it anyway. I mean, this idea that they're going to be half in, half out royals is absurd. They can just give that up. I think it would be hilarious, though, if he was kicked out of the US, deported. Maybe then he'll finally admit that he threw away a life of service and respect just for this gold-digging narcissistic succubus. They do seem to like Canada and Africa, so perhaps they can head there. Maybe there they'll receive all the adulation they want. There is more, though, with Harry's public admission. Didn't he basically give himself an off the record criminal record for visa applications? I do hope that the good people in my country, the US, will toss the both of them out. But of course, that doesn't mean they need to return to the UK. Surely they can find somewhere else that will take them in. And when I say surely, of course, I mean hopefully. I'm not convinced at all. Now, I don't think they could try South Africa, though. I think they pissed them off too. After all, there was that South African actor, John Canny, and he called Meghan out when she claimed that he told her that South Africans had rejoiced in the streets when she married into the royal family, the same way they celebrated when Nelson Mandela was released from prison. Now, he corrected her and said that he had never met her. God, that woman is always lying. So, if this information is true, then I think leaving the US is their only option. Because the thing is, it's not only the book Spare that reveals Harry's drug use, and that's pretty obvious too. I mean, there's no way to deny that. So, okay, let's just say that he lied in his book. Well, that also means that he lied in that interview with that psychologist, Gabor Mate or whatever, where millions of people saw him and we listened to what he said on TV. So, if he lied in the book, I guess he also lied to the psychologist. I just don't buy it. I think for once he was actually being honest. Or if he didn't lie in the book, that means he lied on the visa application. All right, so let's say that it seems an old law that people dabbling in drugs shouldn't be admitted to the US because thousands of people take drugs, especially when they're young, and I'm not condoning it. But for now, at least, it is still the letter of the law. And when he filled in his visa application, he knew it was a lie, and he just kept on lying, hoping that the lies would never come to the fore. And now, actually, that would have taken a bit of luck that Harry clearly didn't have. In the end, the truth always comes out. I mean, honestly, folks, this has to be a joke. The fact that Harry lied on his application because he thought he was so special is something I absolutely believe. And as far as Meghan Markle is concerned, I mean, she's so desperate for publicity and attention all the time, and that's why she married Harry. She thought that she was going to be a princess. History is repeating itself once again. She already overshadows Harry whenever she can. She makes him look like he's lost, like a lost little boy. But life always has its way of paying back evil deeds. Just think of all the backstabbing, all the trouble that he caused his family. And I'm sure they're going to a divorce eventually. Meghan Markle has already proven there's no way she can re-enter the royal family in any position whatsoever except just Harry's wife until she moves on, and their title should have been taken away at least 2 years ago. It's pretty obvious to me that Harry has ruined his life. He's beyond redemption. Now, maybe his father wants to risk republicanism and then he's going to let Harry come back, but I don't think so. Brits don't want him back in their country. I mean, they're not going to pay for a couple of people who call them racists. And before, they moved to the US while Trump was still president. In my personal opinion, they're struggling financially, and they believe the British taxpayers should pay for their lavish lifestyle. They're not going to, though. The people of the UK are not going to forgive or forget. Honestly, folks, I think this visa nonsense is the last of Harry's worries, and I know he's nervous about Trump getting in. Both of them campaigned against Trump in the last election. And if they do that this go around, Trump is going to toss them out for overstepping because Harry is not a US citizen. He's got a title and he's from the UK. And, I'm afraid it's going to cause a lot of chaos, not only for them, but also for Britain. So they can do whatever they want to do. They can have to face whatever consequences they need to face, but it should not affect the UK. And maybe there's another way. Maybe they don't need to escape from the US. In fact, I'd say they need to stay in the US and they need to face the legal cases filed against them. And in the case of Meghan, it's the appeal of the defamation case. And in the case of Harry, possibly even perjury. I think that's going to keep both of them so busy. So in conclusion, Harry's visa is not legit. If it was legit, they wouldn't worry about who becomes president. So the current president is probably committing an offense against US law in order to make Harry and the king happy. I guess the king is worried about his darling boy. And the funny thing is too, I think people all around the world are saying, Harry and Meghan, please don't come to our country. But you know what they say? You reap what you sow. So Harry and Meghan need to understand. They have made their bed, and their bed is in Montecito. They can continue to lie in it there. They better not even try to return to the UK. I'm just waiting for the day that we finally hear about the divorce announcement. I mean, it's bound to happen. Meghan Markle is never going to return to Britain with him. He's on his own. She's got her Netflix series, I guess, that she needs to start filming soon. She's not going to give anything up for him. She's too selfish. And Harry, it looks like, is no longer useful to her, so it's only a matter of time. In the US, though, I gotta tell you, the southern border is already a total mess, and every lowlife who wants to is just strolling across. I don't think the current administration is going to bother with Harry whether he took drugs or not and admitted it or not. So if the former President Trump ends up winning, it's a whole different story. He's going to make sure the southern border is taken care of, and he also had so much respect for the late Queen, and he sees that Harry and Meghan betrayed her. So I don't think he's going to put up with Harry's BS. I think he's going to kick him out. So it looks like Harry and Meghan's beautiful life may be coming to an end soon. These are today's main topics, and I would really love to know your thoughts on these issues. Please leave a comment below, and don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel.